In the same country, the same city, and the same year, three friends gave birth, all to girls. They even gave them the same majestic and noble name, hoping their daughters would share in the greatness of that name. The girls came into life to find loving parents and the blessings of good families, living under their care like princesses within palace walls. But one of them had a very different destiny. In her worldly share, there was neither comfort nor a decent life, nor a stable, loving family. Instead, she grew up in a place where dignity was nearly absent, among people who were degraded and lacking in most human values. There was only a helpless mother, doing her utmost to fix her past mistakes and to give the baby in her arms the best life she possibly could. No villas, no palaces like the other two infants, just a room inside a fragile, unsuitable house crowded with people. Her cries rose. It was time to eat. "Come on, mother, put your breast in my mouth. I am starving." Nafisa was forced to work, even though she had given birth only a very short time ago. She had to provide for the baby's needs and pay the rent for that room so she would not end up sleeping in the street. Years passed, a turbulent childhood between joy and pain, beautiful memories and memories of tears, breakdowns, arguments, and oppression. Everything remained etched in her mind. Our little baby is now in high school. She has grown into a teenager carrying the suffering of the past, the turmoil of the present, and dreams of the future that frighten her whenever she thinks about them, knowing how difficult they are to achieve. Let us zoom the camera in on this girl. She lived in extreme poverty and still does. She lived through oppression, tears, isolation, her mother's illness, moments of abuse, moments of spite and humiliation, pity, fear, bullying, racism, social anxiety, psychological trauma, constant comparisons, and the poisons she absorbed into her soul, and much, much more. Everyone waited for the outcome, for this age is sensitive when a teenager begins to reveal behaviors, tendencies, and desires. Everyone expected that helpless girl to lose her dignity and pride, to head toward the abyss with bad company, to sell herself, deal drugs, or steal just to buy makeup and clothes, to dress in brands and jewelry like her friends. Or that she would become hateful, jealous, envious, and aggressive toward others, venting her psychological wounds. Indeed, her mental state was fragile. She tasted bitterness, darkness, and sickness, and experienced many painful emotions, yet she never dared to do any of that. She only tried fiercely to rebel against her reality, fighting herself. She did not care about brands, luxury cars, or palaces. She only wanted a decent life, to live with dignity through both ease and hardship. Here I open a parenthesis. At a very young age, she was offered vile and degrading services, mostly online. Bluntly put, people tried to lure, exploit, and tempt her with money to do what they wanted, seeing her as easy prey, a 13 or 14-year-old girl searching desperately for work everywhere. But none of this worked on her. She truly understood the meaning of self-worth and value. She wanted to gain herself, not lose what was already shattered. She believed that wearing a branded shirt would add nothing to her, especially if its price was something dishonorable. Then she would be the real loser, and that was the opposite of what she wanted. Whoever loses themselves, what good will money ever do them? She even loved, but she stepped back, knowing that teenage love is fleeting and immature, and that it could end in harm and suffering. She was searching for herself, for peace, not reckless acts that would only make things worse. All of this did not prevent her from becoming strong, the opposite of what was expected. So why did others fail? Because they believed life was what they saw on Instagram, that it was shameful to be ordinary. They refused to accept being less wealthy, less comfortable, or less privileged than their relatives. They absorbed the toxic ideas of a morally poor society, and comparisons controlled them. Everyone wanted to boast, to be more than others, better than them, and that, in and of itself, is true ruin. My dear ones, no matter how deep the swamp we live in, a person must protect themselves with their mind. And no matter how many mistakes one makes, once they recognize them, they must rush toward change and reform. Until now, she is still trying with all her strength. She falls and rises, falls again hard, then stands up again. There is no room for surrender. She lives her life with her own decisions, her poverty, her attempts, and everything, and she is happy because she discovered a meaning for life and realized she was not part of the herd. Even if she doesn't reach her goal, what matters is that she fought fiercely. For it is not necessary that you achieve what you desire, even if you exert thousands times your maximum effort. Life doesn't bend to our wishes, and despite everything, you must continue. From this story, which is 100% true and represents many similar ones, we conclude that rebellion in such cases is survival and success, that using the mind and reflection opens luminous doors, and that all we must do is keep working. So do not let others, social media, or your obsession with quick wealth drag you into the abyss.